Oh, you into fitness? Wrong place, right guy. I'm Scully, and this is the Soulfly Zone. Everything you see here has been shot, edited, and uploaded from my phone so you can see what it's like day by day for an aspiring fitness model. So, let's go. What up, guys? Monday morning, just made it into the office not too long ago, and got a real light breakfast today. Just my cereal and plain Greek yogurt. I put a whole bunch of sweetener in there though, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I'll just eat them together, and hopefully I don't end up dipping into my lunch. But I need to get more strawberries and stuff like that, more fruit. So I'll pick that up tonight after my workout, and just trying to tie up the very last loose ends here at this office, and brought a box so I can start packing stuff up, get everything out of here. So, checking what y'all did. Alright guys, getting ready to eat lunch. Today I forgot to mention this. Today there was like a small rebound in weight. I didn't work out yesterday, like, lift, but I still did the cardio, so I was kind of expecting that to kind of cancel out and come in around the same weight, but I ended up waking up like half a pound heavier. I mean, like 3/4 of a pound heavier. So I don't know if it's because of the small increase in macros or not, or it's just maybe because I went out late with my girl and I had a couple big Diet Cokes or something like that. It could be water weight, but the way I'm gonna plan it is if on Wednesday when I'm supposed to have my refeed, if I don't wake up at like 183 or something like that, at least or at the most at 183, then after the refeed, I'll switch back to my old macros because I know those definitely work for cutting down, and then I should be able to come in. I woke up at like 186.5. I'll check again, but it just wasn't expected. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm eating. Got a barbecue burger, and like I said, I started doing the 2 4-ounce patties instead of one big 8-ounce patty. Those backyard grilled potatoes, I think that's what it's called. Do some salt and pepper on there, real barbecue sauce, and just a couple of fudge rounds, and some Diet Dr. Pepper. And yeah, I had a friend of mine was talking. He was saying that he was out with some people that they know our group of friends, and they were saying how it looks like I never touched a cupcake in my life, and that it must be genetics. And he was like, nah man, when it comes to fitness, this is probably the hardest working dude that I know. And I had to, I do have a high metabolism, and that affords me, with my fats being so high, I can do stuff like fudge rounds, I can do stuff like, different desserts, but it's a matter of, knowing what I can eat, and how much, and not necessarily the types of food. And a lot of work goes into that, planning all my meals out beforehand and stuff like that. And people just make assumptions and just want to make excuses for their current situation. But like I said, I'm 30 years old. Things just kind of started turning around within this last year and a half, 2 years, and I've had this body type, genetics or whatever, for the longest time. And for the longest time I was kind of working against myself, doing all the healthy things, eating very little, running around a lot, and I wasn't making the progress that I've seen now, and I get to enjoy myself a little bit more. So it takes dedication, consistency, and doing what you have to do. But if you're going to do any more effort, if there's no return on your investment, there's no point in doing it. There's no point in feeling like morally superior because you eat brown rice and broccoli and chicken, and somebody else has a burger. You know what I mean? So anyway, check it out. Alright guys, heading home from work. But yeah, so just going over all the comments and stuff. I posted up a lot of videos yesterday actually, but the videos from the dual series, the legs, hypertrophy, and I already get a lot of shit from my legs, and it's to be expected. And you just gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt, because everybody wants to give that to I'm open to everybody's opinion on it, but I know if I
can't really expect my legs to grow. I might be able to get stronger, you know, just because my CNS is adapting to these lifts and stuff like that. But without me being on a real surplus, I'm not really expecting my legs to grow right now. And I've been on a deficit for a long time. But, you know, my legs are getting stronger, and, you know, I'm seeing development. You know, thighs are like 25.5 inches, calves are like under 16, and, you know, that's just people, like, people were giving me critiques on my lunges, saying, you know, don't touch your knee on the ground and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, if I barely touch my knee, it's not like, it's like they're offering that because that's the reason why I don't have legs or something. Maybe, I don't know. But, and, you know, maybe they're just trying to get me to do it with proper form. So who knows? You know, I feel like, you know, if I lightly touch my knee, I know I went from the full range. But it's something, you know, I just gotta deal with it. And, like, when I was learning to break dance a long time ago, this is one hobby that, you know, I was back in high school when I was doing this, and I'm really glad that I did that, because not that break dancing is a useful hobby at all, but it just taught me that you don't have to be good at things when you start out. You just got to get better. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you, nobody just starts off doing all these like power moves in breakdance. You know, when I first started, I was really tall and my legs were really long, and there's this move called a flare, where you're pretty much like holding yourself up on with your hands and your legs are swinging around front and back. I'll get video. I think I can probably still do it, but I'll get some video of me doing it one day. And yeah, when I first started, everybody's like, "Nah, man, you don't have the right proportions for it," because everybody we knew that was doing them, you know, they were like little short Asian kids, and, you know, their legs would be spinning around. You know, it's easier for them to get around or whatever. But I kept at it, you know what I mean? I just kept trying, kept practicing, you know, I learned my windmill, try to, you know, apply that to what I learned from there into flares or whatever. And then finally one day I got it. And I started getting really good with the flares, you know, and they looked nicer because my legs were so long, you know. And for me to keep them up like that, people were like, you know, when we'd have contests and stuff like that, he's like, oh, he's going to win because his legs are so long, he can do flares, you know. They try to make it seem like it was an advantage now. Before, it was the reason why I'd never learned how to do it, and then it became an advantage. And I say the same thing, right? You know, one day whenever I do get legs, I'm going to keep on working at it, and eventually I'm going to have a bulk. And one day I'm going to have legs, and then it'll be one of those other things that get lumped in with, oh, this is genetics, you know. He just, you know, no matter what he would have done, his legs would have looked like that, you know. So I had the same thing with my upper body. Like, for the longest time, all I had was arms, and then abs, you know. And, you know, now slowly everything else is coming into play, and, you know, people just blame it on genetics. It's just the way things are, you know. So, but I'm glad everybody's, like, you know, enjoying the workout video. I like putting up the workout videos. It's a lot more time consuming, you know, just doing the commentary and I'm always trying to push myself when it comes to just editing and all that stuff on OUN the Fitness. I haven't had a lot of time to like try out any new tricks. I don't like to just put tricks in there just because. Like, there's lots of times people find out how to do a little nifty little thing, and then, you know, if it doesn't seem like it's necessary, then I don't want to put it in there, you know. But that's just me. I like to keep everything clean, and there's a function behind every effect that I'm doing. It's not just, ooh, I learned how to do this cool little trick, let me freaking saturate the whole video with that trick, you know what I mean? Especially if it's just not necessary. But anyway, heading home, then head to the gym, upper body power. Talk to y'all. Alright guys, home from the gym. I actually got a whole bunch done in a little in-between time. But when I got home from the gym, I was like, man, I'm hungry, and, you know, so I feel like my stomach is empty. Let me weigh myself right now before I eat, and just to see where I'm at, you know, if it's looking like I'm gonna come in less than what I was this morning. And when I got on the scale, I was like 187. And I'm like, man, let me hurry up and just go ahead and go back to my old macros now. So I'm gonna do the 200 grams of protein, 325 carbs, and 60 grams of fat. And I just like revamped my dinner, switched up what I was gonna have, and I worked it out so that I was only gonna be 5 over on carbs, but everything else was right. I had 200 grams of protein, 330 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. So we'll see how that works out, and I'll just take it from there. Because I was like, what's the point of trying to get all fancy? I'm trying to slowly reverse diet while I'm in contest prep, and let me get to where I need to be, and then decide on how to slow down the weight loss once I'm really close to where I want to be. This far away, 5 pounds away, 2 weeks out, it just I feel like I'm risking it. Even though I feel like I look fine, I want to come in just as good as I did these past 2 shows. The only thing I want different is my presentation to be better. Anyway, I'm about to cook up some pork chops. I wanted to show y'all what I do. I've done this before, but basically to make sure that I'm accurate, what I do is, so like on the pork chops, it tells you how much it was when they packaged it, how much did it weigh, right? So you see that it was 3.41 pounds, right? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write that down, because I'm gonna throw that shit away, and then I'm gonna cook it, and then I'm gonna weigh it again after I let it get to room temperature. So I'm gonna let it get to room temperature. I'm gonna let it sit in a different container than I'm actually gonna store it in, so that whatever juices go out, they go out, and then I don't have to worry about that being weighed as well, and then measuring out. When I do measure it, it's not gonna be there. It's still gonna have that. I'm just trying to be as accurate as possible. Anyway, so let me get started with this, and then I'll check in with y'all in a bit. Alright guys, I'm all done with cooking. Got all my pork chops right here. They look pretty good, but they're still hot right now. I'm gonna let them sit, chill for a little bit, probably clean up the grill, and do some other stuff, and then come back and weigh it out. Alright, so everything's back at room temperature. Got it all weighed out. We got pork chops, right? 2.34. So raw, they were 3.41 pounds. Cooked, they're 2.384. Ratio is 1.43, and then I just went ahead and calculated what 8 ounces would be in grams, since that's what I usually eat. And so there's 28.35 grams in an ounce, and using this ratio, that means my 8 ounces of pork chops will weigh 159 grams. And so that's how I'm trying to be accurate. And there's still some discrepancies that you could account for, but it's close enough. So that's it. As you can see, I didn't clean the grill. I ended up just planning my meals for tomorrow, and that'll be that, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock out and check in with y'all later. Well, check in with y'all tomorrow.